reality sets in, and we're here.
Respect isn't given, it's earned. In blood.
Boxing King Media, Frank Smith, a couple of hours after Dave Allen's loss. I'll start down the card first. There's a lot of talk on the X about Reece Bellotti and Josh Padley's scorecards. How did you score it, and what did you make of the cards?
Yeah, I thought it was close. I've always said I'm not the best at scoring fights. I'm not a judge, hence why I don't sit in their seats. I think a lot of people in the sport had Reece winning the fight. I think, sometimes with those fights though, if they're close, and they go by a round, it's very hard to argue. It's the style of fight you like. I think that the issue is with a scorecard like, I think it was 99-92, one of the scorecards, they're the problems. And look, ultimately these are people who are paid to judge fights, and that's their job, and that's what they do every day. And I think what needs to change is they need to get them in a room and say, right, how did you do it? And they may give you valid answers. And you say, oh yeah, because the reality is boxing scoring is subjective, So, but that has to be done at a minimum, I would say. But nothing seems to change, and I don't know where that change starts.
And that's quite a fair assessment. I think Eddie said Matchroom have gotten themselves a new star on the horizon today. Hamza Uddin, incredible performance, a lot of brash cockiness. He's going to get hammered for some of that stuff online, but what did you make of his performance tonight?
Yeah, brilliant performance, and look, he closed the show as well. Sometimes you can look good but not finish it. And I think that's the key. There's a lot of great fighters out there who silky skills, and go 10 rounds and it's the same thing. He closed the show, against a guy I don't think he'd been stopped before. Great win for him. Hopefully, I think he may have hurt his hand slightly. If not, we'll aim to get him back out on our Midlands card before the end of this year. If not, he'll be out early part of next year.
Has that been announced? Because I'm sure I might have dreamt it. Were they going to announce it tonight?
We were looking at announcing a few bits. We're just waiting on it. We want to get a lot of things together. You know what we're like. We want to get a number of shows together and announce, and it takes a while to get everything in place. But I think we'll aim to have some announcements on Monday.
Just blame the graphic designer. Yeah. And then Junaid Boston, was that a fair decision on your part?
I thought Boston won by a round, but it's a bit like where I say, on the other hand, if it goes around the other way, it's very hard to argue, isn't it? I think you have to give so much credit to Junaid Boston for going straight back in there against Bilal Fawaz after a tough fight the first time round. I think he looked like a completely different fighter, really. I think, to stay up in the third round and then come back out in the fourth round and win that round like, nothing could happen. I mean, it shows so much maturity. And I think that's what you've seen with Junaid Boston, is a maturer man who, he'll be frustrated now. I'm sure he'll be upset. But that's a massive fight if we make the trilogy. It's a fight people are interested in. You saw we had nearly 10,000 people in there tonight. They were all in there for that chief support fight. That's a fight that could headline in its own right. Bilal Fawaz is a great character. So let's see.
Do you guys have options on him, or is he with just Steve Goodwin?
Yeah, we got the options there. So let's see. It's a great fight if we can make it happen. I'm sure he'd want to do it again, because he'll feel like he won the first one. He obviously won tonight, and he'll feel like he can do it again. I'm sure he'll have the confidence. But yeah, fair play to Junaid, because, as I say again, he's shown so much. He's just
coming of age performance, even though he lost.
I think so. Yeah. I think so, because he's like a different person, even in fight week. Even the way he reacted to things, so much calmer. And again, as I say, I'm sure he will be upset. He'll be frustrated now. But as time goes on, I think it'll look for that fight again.
Yeah, I think he showed an incredible chin recovery from that shot as well, like you said. Main event, Dave Allen, incredible entrance. As he said, he's gone from playing Football Manager to sharing 12 rounds with the Russian giant. So at what point did you start getting worried that he wasn't going to pull this off tonight?
I think probably rounds sort of Like, as it got to 6, you felt like actually ARSLANBEK was tiring. You know, obviously big luck, he didn't stop throwing punches. But I think Dave tired as well. But credit to him for staying in there. And look, credit for him because Dave tried to challenge himself to be great. You know, and so many fighters don't want to do that. He took a step up against, you know, a guy who, again, in a fickle sport where he's written out, he loses to Ajit Kabayel, and people write him off. Ajit Kabayel is now in the top 5 heavyweights in the world that people don't want to fight. You know, people don't want to fight ARSLANBEK. Well, you know, like, look at him. He's 6'10", 261 pounds.
6'10".
What do you think he is?
I think he's 6'5" officially, but 6'6" sounds better.
6'10" sounds so much better, doesn't it?
It makes it easy to sell the AJ fight as well.
I mean, he's definitely 6'12". Even if that, I don't think that exists, does it? That's 7 foot. He's probably not 7 foot. He's maybe 6'9".
Well, I just said to him tonight as well, why didn't you come out to the Undertaker music? And he doesn't even know the Undertaker is, so I'm going to send it to him because...
He came up to me in the ring, he was like, this man, chin, abnormal, about Dave's chin. So, you know, that was...
Well, he definitely is abnormal because he's broke his hand on Dave's chin. Yeah, literally. So he's talking about wanting to fight AJ. I asked him if he wants Fury. He said, I don't want Fury, I want AJ. So how realistic is it?
Everyone wants to fight AJ. You know, like that's the... We'll be working with, obviously, with ARSLANBEK moving forward on fights, but everyone wants to fight AJ. You know, of course they do. Everyone looks at it as their huge opportunity, but AJ's also on his own path as to what he wants to do. The Fury fight is a fight that's being spoken about a lot in 2026. Let's see how things play out.
Any plan B for Beck, seeing as he's going to be working with you guys?
He can get the big fights. You know, he's now in that position with a win in an atmosphere like that, in a night like that, a performance like that. You know,
he's thinking Bacoli, Queensbury heavyweights, a few there.
Bacoli, no one wants to fight Bacoli. I reckon he'd fight Bacoli. Yeah. Let's see.
Ghana?
Maybe not Ghana.
Oh, okay. What's the latest on Ghana?
Working through it. Hopefully some news soon.
Okay, sound. That's it. I think Frank Smith. Thank you very much.
You know, the dreams do come true. Reality sets in, and you know, we're here.